Mr. Speaker, does the minister believe we need to lower the cost of living for Canadians?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, I absolutely believe that we need to put affordability at the centre of the projects that we do. Like I just said, making sure that we protect the environment and building a strong job future for our youth is part of that.
For long-range mountains.
Minister, how does taxing Canadian industries help affordability for families struggling with high prices?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
I'm happy that the member opposite has asked this question because we need to diversify our trade right now. Countries around the world are putting in place border carbon adjustments. In fact, having an industrial carbon price helps us to access those markets.
Member for long-range mountains.
Does the minister acknowledge that the industrial carbon tax raises costs for Canadian families?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, the industrial carbon price is an important piece of making sure that our industry is staying competitive in a world that is moving towards border carbon adjustments. It's how we can access those markets for a strong economic future.
Member for long-range mountains.
If the minister is committed to tackling the cost of living crisis, will she remove the industrial carbon tax?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
In the short form, I don't accept the manner in which that question was phrased, but no, I am not in support of removing the industrial carbon price. It's important for our economy, it's important for our industry's competitiveness worldwide.
Member for long-range mountains.
Does the minister know which province has the highest rate of unemployment in this country?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, if the member opposite has questions for the Minister of Labour or Skills and Employment, I am sure that I am happy to direct those questions to them.
Member for long-range mountains.
Does the minister know the unemployment rate of Newfoundland and Labrador?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, thank you for naming my role. I am the Minister of Environment and Climate Change. If the member opposite has questions about labour or about employment and skills development, they can ask that minister those questions.
The Honourable Member for long-range mountains.
Newfoundland and Labrador is important to me, Mr. Chair. Is the minister aware that it's above 9%?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, once again, I'm the Minister of Environment and Climate Change. I care about Newfoundland and Labrador too, and I am happy to have those questions directed to the minister responsible for employment and skills development.
Honourable Member for long-range mountains.
Well, I'm glad to hear that she cares about Newfoundland and Labrador. Does the minister agree that the industrial carbon tax makes our industry less competitive and drives jobs and opportunities out of Canada?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, that's simply incorrect. As I mentioned before, in this moment where we are faced by tariffs, unjustified tariffs from the United States, we're trying to diversify our trade. There are border carbon adjustments being put in place by other countries to access those markets. We need to make sure we have an industrial carbon price.
Honourable Member for long-range mountains.
Well, I'm happy that she's referencing the tariffs, Mr. Speaker, because in the face of unjustified 50% tariffs from the U.S. on Canadian industry, why is the minister continuing to charge our Canadian businesses an industrial carbon tax?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, does the member opposite care about the competitiveness of our industries, about accessing trade with other countries to diversify our markets, and at the same time fighting climate change? All of those are important, and that is why an industrial carbon price is important to maintain.
For long-range mountains.
Mr. Speaker, we can control the industrial carbon tax, unlike the unjustified U.S. tariffs, so why not remove it in the face of the threat?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Perhaps a better question for the member opposite is why won't she join us in the fight to make sure that we're fighting against those unjustified tariffs and that we stand up for a strong, unified country that cares about building a strong economy while protecting the environment?
Member for long-range mountains.
Mr. Speaker, Canadian manufacturers pay an industrial carbon tax while competitors in China and the U.S. does not. Does this seem fair?
Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Chair, as I have mentioned, other countries, like the countries of the EU, like the UK, are putting in place border carbon adjustments. Does it seem fair that the member opposite is suggesting that we not diversify trade to those important countries, does she want us to remain committed to only trading with the United States, or does she want us to access those markets?